Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Leadership and Success Coaching. We are into a three-part series where I'm discussing the critical components of success or successful people. It's a very common, very popular question that I get all the time. So I've broken it down into a three-part series. I hope you've already watched the first part, okay, where I talk about hunger and ambition. If you have not watched that first part yet, you need to go and watch that first. You can click on the button here or you can click on the link here to go check out that video. If you have already watched that video, let me know what you think, and without further ado, we will go straight into part 2, which is today's topic. Let's go. So the second part of the critical components of success, in my opinion, is discipline. Discipline. The ability to laser focus on your target, on your goal, on your objective, and not be distracted by things or activities that don't matter. You see, you have to understand that humans are built in a way, we are engineered to avoid pain. That is true. That's how we as humans, the brain functions. You know, we avoid pain. When you experience pain, you learn to avoid it the next time. That's our protection mechanism. But in its own way, it is also preventing us from doing what needs to be done, preventing us from succeeding. Because that means that humans will always, that means you, me, all of us will always naturally choose the path of least resistance. The path of least resistance. And the path of least resistance has less or no pain. But we all know, don't we, that no pain, no gain. Right? You don't grow if you don't experience discomfort or pain or, go through some kind of struggle. We only grow through struggles. You learn, in many cases, through making mistakes of your own or watching people make mistakes. Of course, that's how we learn, from mistakes, from failures. We become better, we get smarter. But you see, humans settle into a comfort zone at some point. Or regularly, we will find ways to put ourselves in a comfortable situation. And when we are in a comfortable situation, it's often very difficult to get out of it. And it's often very difficult for us to put ourselves in a position where you have to be struggling or in pain again. But that's one of the critical components of success, is discipline. The discipline to get out of your comfort zone, the discipline to do the things that will make you, to some extent, embarrassed, struggle, put you in some kind of challenge, pain. Because here's the logic, right? When you're doing something that you're already very good at, when you're doing something that is sort of part of a routine, it becomes easy. It becomes comfortable. It's like, okay, it's not a real challenge. But it's often when you do something new, you do something for the first time, you do something you've not done before, you do something you're not good at, you do something that requires a lot more of your effort or energy or attention, and you usually won't do a good job of it because it's new, you've not done it before, you're not good at it. Therefore, you won't get the success that you want from the activity, and you won't get the results you want. You won't feel the kind of confidence that you naturally feel when you're doing something that you've been doing all the time and you're sort of in a routine. And so the human psychology, the human brain is, let's not do it. Let's avoid it. It's painful, it's uncomfortable, it's embarrassing. There is a second element to the word discipline, and it's about avoiding distractions. The first part of discipline, I talked about getting off your comfort zone, doing the things that you are not comfortable or not good at, or sometimes even embarrassed because you're not necessarily doing a very good job out of it. But the second part of it is successful people, or critical components of success, is the ability to avoid distractions, is the ability to protect yourself from distractions or from negative or from bad activities, if you call it that way. Look, I don't know what will distract you, right? Because there are lots of different things out there that could distract different people. Maybe, it's watching too much movies. Maybe it's gambling. Maybe it's drinking. Maybe it's socializing. Maybe it's partying. Maybe it's, I don't know, having a good life and just sitting at home doing nothing. I don't know. There are so many things that could distract us, and we all have different, I suppose, vices and different things that we love to do, that we want. And one of the components of successful people, one of the characteristics of successful people, is we know how to protect ourselves from distractions, from potential negatives or things that will take our attention away from our objective, our goal. So I know that. I know what are the things that will stop me. I know how lazy I could be. I know if I get into a certain comfort mode, I would not be as focused or as driven as I need to be. And so what I do is I make sure that I protect myself from potential distractions. I protect myself from potential situations that will make me behave or become like that. So to give a very simple example, and everybody can relate to that. If you are at a phase where you're trying to be fit and you're losing weight, very simple. Just don't buy the snacks in the first place. I'm sure so many of you can relate to that, because when you don't buy the chocolates, don't buy the potato chips, and don't buy the snacks, and you don't put them at home, and when it's like 7, 8 p.m. and you're like, I need to get something to nibble, to munch on, you got nothing to eat. So when you don't put yourself in that situation, so people who are successful are smart enough to even prevent that. It's not about, I have the snacks, let's not eat it. It's not even that. There are chocolates on my table, I'm not gonna eat that. It's not even that. The people who are successful go 1, 2, 3 steps before that to say, hey, in the first place, let's just not buy those things. Because if I don't buy the chocolates and I don't buy the potato chips, I don't even have to worry about debating whether I should eat the chocolate or not. And in a more practical business perspective, in my own time, when I was 24, 25 years old, as a young man, people my age, they were out partying, right? Wednesday night, Saturday night, and stuff like that. They were drinking, socializing, they're playing football, they're going out with their friends. Again, nothing wrong with that, but I was focused on building my business. I had a goal, I had a time I needed to achieve those goals. So I couldn't afford, and I didn't want those distractions. So what does that mean? I protected myself from that environment. Okay, so in other words, it's not like I went to the party and I say, hey, I will go back early. It's not like I went to the party and I say, hey, I'm not gonna get myself drunk, I'll stay sober and I maybe just have a few drinks. It's not even that. I just don't even go. You see what I mean? Because I gotta protect myself 1, 2, 3 steps ahead and not put myself in a situation where I could, screw up my next day or screw up the week. So I just don't even do those things. In the early days of me building my business, I knew the importance of saving money. I knew I needed more cash flow. I needed to save more money. Now, that is not to say that I didn't spend money. I did. And I to some extent, I regretted a lot of, the things that I bought or the money I spent in my early days. But I was very aware that I needed to save a lot of money. So what I did was, again, 2, 3 steps before, I put myself in an environment where I didn't have to spend a lot of money. And a lot of friends in my early years, where they would be spending money, they would be buying this, buying that, going on a holiday, spending a lot of money, because when you go on a holiday, you spend a lot of money. Again, I'm not trying to judge, and I'm not saying you should not go on a holiday, but I didn't go on many holidays at all, or any. Again, I don't remember, but I don't think I went for any holidays in the first 4 5 years of building the business. And even when I did, it wasn't like a trip to London or a trip to Paris or whatever. It was never a big trip. It was at the very most 2-day, 1-night kind of trip, just sort of as a chill out. It was never a big shopping, hoo-ha, 10-day trip to Europe and stuff like that. Because if I was in that situation, I would need to spend a lot of money, and I didn't want to do that. I knew it was not time to do that. For some of you, you really like cars, just like me. I love my cars, and I've always wanted to buy a nice car for myself. But I held back. I had the discipline. I avoided distraction because I know not just the kind of financial, what you call, burden it would put on me, but also, with a nice car, you're gonna start having a different lifestyle. You're gonna use the car and go out. So I just didn't even buy the car. I didn't even buy a car, even though I could afford it, till I think year 7 of my business. So that's what I did to protect myself from those distractions. Even though I could well afford it, I just didn't do it. In summary, point number 2, critical components of success or successful people is discipline. The ability to focus, laser focus on your goals and your objective, and also to do the things that you will struggle to get results at first, things that you're not comfortable, that you could be embarrassed about, but you keep doing it till you're good at it. And also at the same time, the ability to avoid distractions or protect yourself from potential distraction. So I want to leave you something as part of the end to this video, is the definition of discipline. It's not doing what you feel like doing or what you want to do. It's doing what needs to be done. It's not doing what you feel like or what you want to do. It's doing what needs to be done. That's discipline. Okay, that's all the time we have for today. This is part 2 of our 3-part series in critical components of success or successful people. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. And remember to stay tuned for our final part 3 of this series. If you like this video, as always, remember to smash the like button. It will help this channel grow. Share this video with people and friends that you think will benefit from it. And I will see you all next time. Take care.